and Ted. Hello, everyone. It's a bit difficult outside Ted's segment, but I'm going to give it a go. I'm going to talk about the latest R2 release. The R2 release has delivered many improvements to Workday Adaptive Planning. Some of these improvements you may have realized immediately, like changes to the general user interface, as well as various accessibility options available on the more popular pages. More information on these can be found on the 2022 R2 release notes officially from Workday. I'll get on with it. Okay, so we've got two key updates that I'm going to go through. In all honesty, I don't think a slightly changed interface would excite too many of us very much. The key updates we at QMetrix are excited about, and I'm sure some of you are as well, are alternate calendars and Contra accounts. I will walk through both of these with you today. Why? So why do we need these alternate calendars? Consider this example. We have an example, we have a company with a financial year or year end of December. It then acquires a company with a June year end, and there is no intention to change this due to the complex company structure within the acquired company. A new June year end will help the new subsidiaries report and plan based on the financial year end, while still providing a roll up at the parent level based on a December year end. Win-win. Of course, this is just one of the many use cases for an alternate calendar. Other reasons may be that your business is run on a fortnightly or semi-monthly calendar, or even a 4-4-5 roster to suit workforce planning. In some sales-oriented businesses, you may want to report by calendar year as opposed to a June year end. Of course, there are many other use cases which may be appropriate for your business. So do consult with your consultant to discuss some of the benefits that this can achieve by implementing multiple calendars and the impact it would have on existing setups. Now, how do we achieve this? We would have to make a change to the time inside of Adaptive. It is essentially creating an additional mapping layer to the most granular stratum that exists, day, even when it's not used. In our example, we have an existing calendar with strata roll-up of month to quarter to year using a December year end. We're going to add an alternate calendar to end each financial year in June. We have to determine where the new calendar forks or splits, if you will. We will split this new calendar after month where the stratum is no longer common between calendars. The new quarter and year stratum will need to be mapped to the month. Then this is imported into Adaptive. Once this is complete, the new calendar will then be available in dashboards, reports, sheets, and Office Connect for you to select and add. I will show you these shortly after I talk about several important points. We strongly recommend contacting a friendly consultant at QMetrix before proceeding, because if there were any mishaps along the way, it can result in a complete data loss, as time is one of the critical dimensions in how the data is stored. Our consultant may also be able to recommend a less intrusive way to achieve the same outcome. If all else fails, do utilize your sandbox for this exercise before proceeding in your live environment. While it does provide an immense amount of benefits, there are several limitations and drawbacks to implementing an alternate calendar. It is almost a win-win all around. As much as some of us want an unlimited number of alternate calendars with varying ways of roll-ups, it is limited to only 3. Entering of data. As some of you may be aware, when we enter data, it must be entered into the default strata. Default strata only exists within the default calendar. For example, if our default strata is month, and in the new calendar we have a bi-monthly strata, you can only enter data by month. The allowable time periods. Alternate calendars introduces a new limit of 8,000 leaf levels or 8,000 days. This translates to a bit over 20 years. This does not only affect the alternate calendar, default calendar also needs to be changed to fit this restriction. This limit may be changed by raising a request to Workday. Exploring of cells. If you use Explore Cells at all, you will be disappointed as Explore Cells is not available while reporting on the alternate calendar. While this may be the case, you can continue to drill into transactions in all calendars. For a full list of limitations, please refer to the release notes from Workday. I will now show you how the alternate calendar is presented inside of Adaptive. So we'll first look at Sheets. Just bringing that up. Right. Let's open our favorite sheet and see how to change the setting in all existing sheets. In the toolbar near the top, click on the display options. It shows the time tab immediately, unless if your session has expired. So just give me a second, sorry.
I suppose at least the audience can see that even we struggle with the session timeouts as well.
Yeah.
It's you that feels the pain, it's all of us as well.
All right. We are looking at sheets. So now that we've opened our favorite sheet, which is the statement of activities for this nonprofit organization, we will go and click on the toolbar near the top, click on display options. It shows the time tab immediately, and calendar can be chosen here. And then I already have an alternate calendar set up for this. I'll just change it to that. And then in the new calendar, just set up the calendars you want to display. And how you would like it displayed. This company normally has a December year end. So now we have a June year end with July starting. That's the first period. Okay. And then we will move on to reports. Okay. Let's try again. Next, I'll go for the reports and how the alternate calendar settings are applied. First, go to the versions in after you click edit. We'll go to the versions in the elements section on the left. And then drag the version you want to the right-hand side in the horizontal axis or the So we'll go to the versions, dragging the actuals into the filter. So right click on the version, go to properties, and then here it will show you the calendar that you will be using for the report. Click apply, and then you should be able to run it, showing FY22 based on a June year end. So again, this starts at July 21 and ends in June 22. If we go and replace that back with the other calendar, being a default calendar, go back to properties of the version, and change it back to default time hierarchy. Okay. Have to remove the time as well. So we'll go into time and we'll drag it in the default time hierarchy, FY22. Just gonna make it show all months by clicking collapse all and just run. Now we have a year starting in January 22, finishing in December 22, which is your default calendar. So it's pretty straightforward to change it in the reports. So next we'll look at dashboards. First we're going to do is click on edit in your dashboard, select or drag in a new chart. In my case, I'll use a line chart. Click on the line chart, and on the right hand pane, click on the clock symbol. This will give you the time settings here, and you will just select the calendar that you want to use. Now in my test instance, there are some setups that still require to be done. I'm just not able to show the results, but that you can tell how easy it is to change the calendar. So we've covered a little bit about the use case of why this is useful for different stakeholders within an organization. While every organization is unique, careful consideration needs to be made regarding how this can provide maximum benefit. If you require any assistance along the way, our consultants are available to assist, but in the meantime, visit our website for more information. Next, we'll move on to having a look at Contra accounts. Why would we need this? So for organizations where they have models built around intercompany can celebrate, as contributors no longer need to enter negative numbers for costs. I will now show you how it is done and how it functions. This will have to be pretty quick because we're running out of time. So if we look at the intercompany accounts of this company, where is it? Here. We've got two income accounts with a parent having a credit balance. So normally when you have a child, you can't change the balance type, but with the new update, we can specify the balance type that it needs to be. So due from company A in revenue should be still a credit balance. Now due to company A, it should be a debit balance because it will become an expense. So we'll just change it to debit, and you note that it now says this is a Contra account, and we save it. And we go to the P&L and have a look at what this looks like. So when we enter $1,000 here in revenue, we would expect a positive $1,000 in the total in that section. And normally in the due to company A, you would enter 1,000 as a negative, but now that I can enter positive and it becomes a 0. And this is this will also show on reports, dashboards, and Office Connect as well in the same way. Other use cases depend on your model setup. Contra accounts may also be used for foreign exchange gains or loss, where it's normally grouped in like an other income section or way below the line, where it's in the same section, so it has to roll up the same way. And another reason to do this is accumulated depreciation, depending on how your model is set up. I would like to quickly mention another update of value to some organization using reports that contain sensitive data. A new permission has become available where a user can be prevented from exporting data of sheets and reports. This will be useful for organizations where sales and client data is available to general report consumers holding sensitive and competitive data. It is an extra layer of protection against this data to be stored outside of Adaptive. You can find this in the administration section under permission sets. This concludes Ted and my presentation. Thank you for your time in attending our session. An email will be distributed shortly to all attendees with additional information you may find useful, and a link to an article detailing some of the other R2 releases which may be of interest to you. Thanks again, and I will now pass the microphone back to Jess for all your questions.